What exactly does this mean? Does this mean anybody can get an equity stake in a startup they back on Indiegogo?
That's exactly right. So we launched in January 2008, and now we're very excited to this week announce that we're entering into equity crowdfunding. When we came up with the idea in 2006, we actually wanted to do equity crowdfunding right away, but we learned about the rules that go all the way back to 1933 that really stopped us. And today we are able to launch something that changes that. Everybody in America who is of legal age can now invest in a company and be able to get the financial return.
So, Indiegogo was made possible in part by the Jobs Act, which of course came into effect under the Obama administration. What sort of policies do you expect from Donald Trump when it comes to entrepreneurs and small businesses?
Yeah, so Indiegogo was launched in 2008, so we were prior to the Jobs Act, but we were very excited to see in the Jobs Act in 2012 that they looked to release some of the rules around being able to invest as an individual into something called equity crowdfunding. So now it's 4 years later in 2016, it's finally live. In terms of what we can see in terms of limitations, it seems like in the Trump market now, some of the financial institutions have had a bump because I believe they think that there's going to be some loosening of regulations beyond the interest rate pieces. If that's true as it relates to equity crowdfunding, this could be positive. I mean, the current state of the Jobs Act is you have a limit of $1 million a company can raise, or an individual can max out at $2,000 or $10,000, depending on their net worth, how much they can invest. There is the potential that with this current president-elect, there could be a little bit of loosening there.
Now, going through your numbers, you say that roughly 23% of backers have supported more than one campaign, which means that the majority of backers are supporting just one campaign. What does that say to you? Does that say that investors are really doing this as a one-off, or that people really want to get into this as a career that they would like to repeat?
Right, so to date, no one has actually been able to invest until this week. So the stat you're referring to is in relation to a perks-based campaign where individuals are funding because they know the person, they want the product, or they want to participate in the movement. This is going to be a very exciting time. Most of America, over 98% of America, are not accredited investors, meaning they don't have $1 million of net worth, they don't make $250,000 of salary. So this is really opening up the market to most of America, over 98% of them, to now be able to invest in their local neighbor, into the local coffee shop, or into that interesting movie that they want to fund.
So, as you mentioned, there's some variety in the kinds of businesses that are started on Indiegogo. Since 2008, what are the most popular kinds of businesses, and do you see certain trends sort of consolidating around certain verticals?
Yeah, so Indiegogo has been open from the beginning. So we've had creative projects, cause projects, and different products. But we're really seeing a lot of momentum in the last few years is really in those hardware projects, those innovations, whether it's Canary, which is a security device, which is out of New York and doing really well, or you have Misfit, which ends up selling after raising money on Indiegogo for over $200 million. I mean, right now on Indiegogo, you have Play Impossible, which is another one of those hardware devices, which is a ball that has smart sensors in it and connects to your mobile device. Now anybody can invest in that company.